Hello everybody, I'm back. I'm videoing another video today. Okay, anyway, it's the same day, another video on the same day. I am starting my winter sowing today, I decided. So I picked out 3 different milk jugs because I don't have a lot of Happy Frog left. I just decided to narrow it down to things I'd like to start now. So I picked one of my coldest variety lettuces that I have on hand. Brown gold ring lettuce. Lactuca sativa, 55 days and exceptionally tasting and cold tolerant bronze tipped romaine lettuce. I love me a romaine lettuce. I love it nice and crispy and flavorful, and I just like it. I'm not much on a butterhead lettuce or a bib lettuce, because aka Roman type lettuces have a crisp texture, juicy flavor, and an impressive cold tolerance. Breeders and gardeners in the know consider this variety an unappreciated gem. The conical heads are tightly wrapped and make an excellent scoop or canoe for filling. Sow in thick bands for baby greens or spaced farther apart for head lettuce, best grown as a spring or fall crop in most areas. So, I'm going to start it. I had crisp mint growing out in my raised bed. It got too cold for it. I got brown gold rings started up there in a 4-inch pot. I let them get a little underwatered. Hopefully they come back. If not, I got more lettuce. And anyway, I want to start another succession crop of lettuce anyway. So why not just winter sow it and forget about it, right? So my next one's from Victory Seeds. This is my second order from Victory Seeds. It's part of the seed haul I planned on doing, but this video came first, I guess, so it's getting put off again. Maybe I'll never get to it, because you'll probably see all what I got by then. Spinach, and the variety is called America. Spinacia oleracea. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that. I'll work on that later. Days to germination, 5 to 15 days. Days to harvest, 43 to 55. That's going to be a little longer this time of year because it's super dark outside. Also known as American Longstanding and American. Plants reach about 8 inches in height, produces heavy yields of thick dark green savoid leaves. It is slow growing, slow to bolt, and resistant to heat and drought. This variety is a long-standing Bloomsdale type that is suitable for canning, freezing, and eating fresh. Planted as early in the ground as can be worked. Spinach prefers fertile soil and cool weather. Plant again in late August for a fall crop. Sow thinly, about 1/2 inch deep. Thin seedlings to 1 to 3 inches apart. Harvest leaves as soon as they are big enough to eat. When plant is starting to look old, cut the whole plant back to 1 to 2 inches high to stimulate growth. If they begin to bolt, harvest and freeze the whole crop. So there you have it. I like how descriptive these seed packets are. They're not much to look at, but they are pretty stinking descriptive, I will say so myself. And again, my microphone was way on the floor, but that's alright. It can be in my lap. I noticed the sound quality in the last video was pretty good. And last but not least, parsley, and the variety is evergreen, also from Victory Seeds. Petroselenium crispum. Germination, 21 to 28 days. Plant height, 10 to 16 inches. Plant depth, 1/4 inch. Thinning height, 2 inches. Spacing after thinning, 10 inches. Harvest, 70 days. Exhibits more frost resistant than any other varieties and grows vigorously. An all-American selection winner in 1940. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep indoor in pots or outdoors in full sun, 2 to 3 inches apart after all danger of frost is past. For best germination, freeze seed for 3 to 5 days and then soak in warm water for about 4 hours before planting. Cover seed lightly. Darkness helps the germination. When plants are about 2 inches tall, thin plants to 10 inches apart. They will grow about 10 to 16 inches tall. Parsley becomes very bitter as the plant starts to flower. A biennial plant, parsley is typically grown as an annual. Well, I have parsley growing out there now, but after it gets about 15 degrees and below, parsley doesn't work out here. So I'm hoping to have a hardier, long-standing parsley in the garden that kind of just like self-seeds and I don't have to worry about it in that little L-shaped bed there. So anyway, these are the 3 I'm starting today. If you didn't watch my last video, I am recovering from being sick. I had a fever and the whole shebang, and I'm starting to feel a little better, so I am winter sowing today. And if you also watched my last video, I found more hot pepper seeds. So I guess you'll just have to check out my Facebook post or just check out a video later on to see what I'm growing. Anyway, so I've got these milk jugs that I cut up last year. This is what you're going to want to start with. This is actually a water jug. I've also used the opaque kitty litter containers, 7-Up containers, basically anything clear, opaque, that's going to let sunlight through. You're going to want to slap some drainage holes down there, be it a soldering iron, a hot nail, a knife, a pair of scissors, any way you could think of putting drainage holes in there. You're going to want to put plenty of drainage holes is always good. And don't worry about the lid, you're going to leave that bad boy right off. Now, there's 2 ways you could go about doing your container. You can leave it in one piece and just hinge where the handle is, or you can do it like this. You could also use duct tape and tape the 2 pieces together, or you could just fit it together like this and say good enough and stick it out there. There is lots of flexibility with winter sowing. Winter sowing is my favorite way to start seeds. If you have never winter sowed, I suggest you do it. It is very hands-off. This is a self-watering, self-draining greenhouse. It doesn't get much better than that, and it's recycling. Feel better about that, Green Society. Okay, so you could use compost or potting soil. I don't suggest using seed starting mix because these plants are going to live in this little container for quite a while. Now as spring comes okay, well, my ring light turned on. Be right back. I've got to turn the dining room light back up. I'm going to turn the dining room light on. Okay, and I have my glasses off because of the ring light and the glare and all that. Luckily, my vision's not awful. Anyway, as I was saying, because these plants are going to live in these little containers for quite a while, I would not use like peat, cocoa coir, anything like that doesn't have nutrients in it. Now, I'm not saying you can't use that and add nutrients into it. That's perfectly fine too. I'm just saying you want to think about that because that's part of the hands-off part of it, unless you want to go out there and with liquid fertilizer and fertilize them. Who wants to do that if you're already doing this anyway? I don't know. That's just the way I think there might be that person out there. So, I like to fill her up. Because the soil's going to compact down in there. Oh, why am I doing that? Using my seeds mat. Excuse the mess behind me. I'm also sorting through my seeds, seeing what I got and organizing my seed collection because after last season and all that, just the seeds have gotten discombobulated and they need to get some rain back on them. I suppose I could be fix my camera angle here too. So yeah, I'm not afraid to fill her up. Now I do leave some bit of a lip on it because when some, spillage and all that stuff, and putting the lid back on it, I'm probably not going to end up taping these back together. I'm probably going to end up being just like good enough. So let's talk about what you can winter sow in this method of if you want to start seeds this way, what can you do? Basically anything. It's going to give it a little head start. However, once seeds have germinated, they are then subsist. The frost can come and kill them. In other words, the greenhouse is not going to protect them from a hard frost. So if it's anything like, let's say you're starting a tomato or a pepper plant in here, which I have done, and there's nothing wrong with that, you're going to either want to bring these back inside when that frost hits. I would bring them back inside anytime below 45 degrees Fahrenheit, because it's going to stress the plants out. They're just not going to thrive. I would bring them inside. Or your second option is to wait till after the threat of frost and then do this, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I have done that and have had late crops, and they've been successful in northern Indiana. So all is good. So you could grow things like passion fruit. You could grow things like agastache. These are wonderful things because they want cold stratification. What is cold stratification? Some plants, when they drop their seeds, they want to go through the frost in order to germinate. That's what cold stratification is. That's what that parsley seed packet was talking about, sticking your seeds in the freezer. I don't have to do that because I'm doing the winter sowing method. And I don't have to soak them and all that because I am doing the winter sowing method. That's all that's going to be done for me. I mean, you can soak them if you want. I mean, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, to be quite honest. Maybe that's an experiment for a different time, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get on it. So how far do I? Okay. Darkness helps germination. So it's going to be 1/4 inch deep. Any of these seeds you see that you would like to have, please let me know. I'm always down for a good old-fashioned snail mail seed swap or a meetup seed swap. Either way. Just let me know down in the comments or email me. I don't really check my YouTube email too often, so you probably should tell me down in the comments and then email me, and I'll email you my address and all that stuff. Okay. You can also, another good tool for this is a paint marker. Now I've used permanent markers before when I've had to, when I've not had paint markers. These I got a pack at Amazon. They worked great at first, and now they're kind of like mediocre. But whatever, as long as they work, I don't care. Alright. Get some of this paint running down. Permanent markers will work fine for a while, but they end up fading. So I don't prefer permanent markers unless I need to. Alright, now we got some paint rolling out. So I'm going to stick my lid back on here. You should water this in first, but I'm just going to go ahead and put this on you for the sake of the video, so I can show you and make it go by a little bit quicker. Okay, so I have the German chamomile on there from last year from the paint marker. See how the paint marker works a lot better than the permanent marker. Well, I don't think this lid fits right on there. I might end up taping this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and write what's on it. Parsley, evergreen. And then last year I put 24 by it. because it was 2024 and I planned on recycling it, so I'm going to put 25 next to this label, so I got the same process going on. And it's that easy. You just water these in, and then you're just going to stick it out there in a nice sunny location where they will get rained on, snowed on, and everything else, and all that is good and fine. And then when spring comes around and you need to start watching the watering a little bit more, you might have to go in there and water them, because with the being a more sunny out, having more sun during the day, the temperatures being warmer, the rate of evaporation of this water is going to be higher. Therefore, you're going to have to water it more. So be conscientious of that. You could also take these tops off, or if it's the hinge, fold them back on a nice beautiful day and cover them back up on the when the frost hits at night. And that kind of gives them a little extra added protection. So I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something. And if you want, go back and look at my other winter sewing videos. I've drilled holes and cut holes and everything else and spent more time on them. Or check out anybody else's winter sewing videos. Maybe they got some different ideas than me. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.